Walking night streets, passing by the coke dealer, but they know the disco is where we go.
And this is what it sounds like after.
Walking night streets, passing by the coke dealer, but they know the disco is where we go. I just wanted to get you out on the floor, yeah.
Yo, what is up, everybody? I am Legend, and in today's episode of Sound Architect, I'm going to be showing you guys how to make your auto-tune sound better. That is how to auto-tune like a pro using a professional plugin called WavesTune right here in GarageBand from waves.com. Let's go. So you may or may not have seen my previous video, how to use auto-tune right, and I demonstrated this in GarageBand using the pitch correction, basically how to set up your auto-tune, how to get the key of the song, and all that great stuff. Now, the thing about that video is I was using the built-in pitch correction feature, which is a powerful tool, but is extremely limited. And I got a lot of questions on that video saying, how can I auto-tune just part of my vocal? Or how can I change the key of this section and then make it a different key in this section and do this and this and that? Basically, you can't do that with GarageBand's built-in feature of pitch correction. So today's video, using WavesTune, that solves all of your problems. Every question that I've been asked on that video, this plugin will solve it. So I want to show you guys how it works. Now, I did talk a little bit about how to use WavesTune in my previous plugin video from last week's episode of Sound Architect, so you guys can go ahead and check that out up here. Link is above. The first thing that you want to do when you're coming into whatever program you're using, whatever DAW, is you want to set the key of the song. So in this case, this song is already set. I'm working in this song I'm working on called Haunted. It is in an E minor. Yes, an E minor. For everybody who wanted to get on me in this previous video, the song is in E minor. Thank you very much. I know what I'm talking about. I've been making music for 22 years. Moving right along, so you have to make sure that the key of the song is set first. So once we have that set, you want to click on this little knob right here next to the scissors in the top left corner. It's going to bring up this whole menu down here, Track Master, Compare, Controls, and EQ. You scroll down to where it says Plugins down here, hit this button, and then you'll have all your plugins. Now, if you don't already have your stuff set right here, this is where you would set all your plugins. Again, I talked about that in my previous video. You want to put your auto-tune at the top of your, what we call a vocal chain. That's what this is. What you'll do is this will be an empty field. You'll click this button right here. You'll scroll down after you download WavesTune, which I will put a link in the description, and you guys can go get it there. Audio units, Waves, WavesTune or WavesTune LT, Lite. And then basically this whole screen will pop up. Now, as I showed in my previous video, this is going to be empty when you first open it up because you either haven't recorded vocals yet or you haven't allowed this plugin to register all of your notes that you sang. So basically what you want to do is you want to record your vocal first. Blah, 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 blah. Mary had a little lamb. Boom. You recorded your vocals. Before you begin tuning anything, as I said in my previous video, if you didn't watch my previous video about how to use auto-tune, you want to make sure that you select the root key of the song here, or whatever key that you want your vocals in, because that's the beauty of WavesTune. It doesn't have to be just to the key of the song. It could be to a different key if you want to tune it to that, but for the sake of simplicity, I'm just going to tune it to the key of the song because I don't need it in a different key. But it's in E minor. That's what my key is in. If you don't know what key your song is in, you can go to audiokeychain.com and upload your beat there, and it'll tell you roughly what key your song or beat is in. You get the root, which is E minor, so put it in E natural minor because there are so many different minors.
Walking night streets, passing by the coke dealer, but they know the disco is where we go. I just wanted to get you out on the floor, yeah.
So this song Haunted is not a singing based song. It's more like a rap singing type of song. So my vocals are not so sultry. It's supposed to be more of like a flow. But there is a clear and obvious note that I'm singing to each word that I wrote. That's why I have to use auto-tune here. But as you can tell, when the auto-tune is off, the vocals sound like I'm still on key. I'm still hitting the notes, but it's very kind of wonky. I'm not, the precision at which I'm hitting the notes are not, it's not good. It's all over the place.
But they know the disco is where we go.
But they know it's like they know the disco, but it's supposed to be, but they know the disco. It's supposed to be like right on that note, but it's not, because I'm a human. I can't I have my faults. You know, we all have our faults, and this is why autotune is a great thing for artists like ourselves with studio recordings. We want our studio recordings to sound professional, and this is what it sounds like after.
Walking night streets, passing by the coke dealer, but they know the disco is where we go. I just wanted to get you out on the floor, yeah.
Once you have it there, you would play your song and let your vocals register and record within this window. Basically, you don't have to do anything. It'll just automatically play, and it'll register every note that you sing in this window right here. And that's basically what you're looking at here. These are all of the notes of each individual part that I'm singing. The main three things that you want to mess with in Waves Tune is going to be these three knobs here down at the bottom. You have the speed, the note transition, and the ratio. The speed is basically how fast is it going to tune your vocals. Transition is how quick between the notes are those transitions going to be. So if you have this turned all the way down, the fastest, which is the least amount of time, it's going to go from, if I'm going like, nah, it's going to go, ba, ba, like, it's going to sound like a robot. It's going to sound more like T-Pain, more like a robot is singing. If you turn it the other way, it's going to sound more like a natural slide up, but it's still going to allow you to hit those notes. I obviously like it to sound a little bit more human, but there are times where you do want to turn it to the fast speed and the fast note transition so that you can get a more stylized effect, like a future type effect. The ratio is basically, if you turn it all the way to the left, that's the original note that you sang. So if I have it all the way to the left, it's not going to auto-tune that particular highlighted part. If you turn it all the way to the right, it says 100% correction. You guys can see that down here. It'll correct my vocal 100% accurately to the note that I want it to hit. So I like to leave this at around 100 or 90. I have the section highlighted that I want to auto-tune, and this is the great thing about Waves Tune is you can select certain parts to auto-tune, certain parts not to auto-tune. You can choose to auto-tune one note. You can choose to auto-tune the entire line that you sang in the entire song. You can choose to blast up the auto-tune on one part and then only have it slightly on some other parts. This is how highly customizable and editable, I don't know, your vocals are. In this case, I think it starts right about here. So I'm just going to highlight this because I just want to auto-tune this part right here within the looped section. And what I would do is I would turn these knobs to whatever I want these to sound like. So if I want it to sound more robotic, I would drag my speed all the way down to 0 or 1 or 2. I'm just going to do 2 because it's stylized, but I don't want it too fake. Note transition, I'm turning down to around the same thing. It's going to be 2. Ratio, I'm leaving all the way on 100 because I want that note to actually hit. Now, if you look at closely, just to kind of show you guys what it's doing. Walking night streets, passing by the coke dealer. So you can literally see the notes that you're hitting right here. Now, you see how robotic this curve is right here. If I were to turn the note transition, you see how that green line is kind of shaping itself. There's an orange line and a green line. The green line is what the auto-tune is doing. The orange line is your actual vocals. So for instance, there's an orange line going up and down here, and then there's a green line that looks super robotic. The orange line is what my vocals are doing. So they're actually within this note. It's just kind of going up and down. The auto-tune is making sure that it's boom right on that note right in the middle. So that's where this note transition comes into play. You look here, I turn it down and it's going to smooth out that vocal. 3, 2, 1. So I went from going a little bit flat to on the note to way flat to being on the note, on the note, on the note. So once you highlighted your part, you fixed the note transition, the speed, and the ratio of whatever part that you wanted to fix, you can go ahead and play it and see what you got.
Walking night streets, passing by the coke dealer, but they know the disco is where we go. I just wanted to get you out on the floor, yeah.
Super, super, super dope. But I'm going to show you guys the part of the song that gets kind of wonky with the built-in pitch correction. So if you didn't see my previous video, we have the built-in pitch correction, which you set the key of the song, you turn the auto-tune up, and hope that it does its job.
All seem to bleed red.
Right there.
You're all I wanted.
So the note is supposed to be, all these walls seem to bleed red. But because the scale that GarageBand is tuning my vocals in doesn't have that red in there. It's tuning my vocals to bleed red. And you'll notice if I unmute this, the rest of the vocals are kind of going all over the place too.
All seem to bleed red. Yup.
So we have to fix that with Waves Tune.
All seem to bleed red.
That's what GarageBand was tuning my vocal to. And I wanted to change this to the to bleed red. All I would have to do is come in here, highlight this, and literally drag it up. And listen.
All seem to bleed red.
I can literally edit the notes that I'm singing all in this window, like after the fact. I don't even have to sing the note. If I want to take it up 1, 2, 3 more steps,
all
listen to this.
To bleed red. Yup.
Like, that sounds horrible, but the fact that I can do it is crazy. It's crazy. You can edit your vocals. Now, another thing about this is
you're all I wanted.
You're all I wanted. What if I want to change this note? So let's go down here.
You're all I wanted. You're all I wanted.
Like, I don't even, I mean, this is kind of cheating a little bit, but again, I think I see this as a musical instrument. You're literally playing your voice the same way you would play a virtual instrument. Your voice is literally becoming a virtual instrument right here. So you can change this around wherever you need it to be. You can tune it to where you can actually sound good. I mean, you guys are looking, this is where my original note was. And this one was up here. And I changed it to where this is down here. And this one is up here.
You're all I wanted.
Wanted. Like, I didn't even sing that. I sang.
You're all I wanted.
So the stuff that you can do, and even, I mean, this is just the beginning of Waves Tune. Like, if I went into all the different features that Waves Tune includes, they have a pencil right here where you can draw in what you want certain parts to do. So like, if I want to change all this without just clicking and dragging and moving these things around, if I want to go like this, so look at these notes right here. I can just go boom, go down, and then we'll go like this. It's gonna automatically look at this.
You're all I wanted.
Once again, I barely scratched the surface of the things that you can do in Waves Tune. There's just so many features. Again, I don't want this video to be super long. If you guys do want to download Waves Tune, there is a link down below to waves.com where you can download Waves Tune. There is a sale going on right now where they have an additional 50% off the sale price. So you might want to get that as soon as you possibly can. It's very well worth the money. But if you like this video, please feel free to leave a like down below, subscribe, turn on the bell notification so that you'll be notified every single time I upload a brand new video. Leave a comment down below. Let me know what you guys think. If you have any questions, that's the end of the video. I'll see you guys next week. And as always, stay legendary.